The acting genre. Let me check that. Has it not think of? It is. All right. Good evening, guys. Welcome to our interactive session. And today we have a guest with us. His name is. All right, Etin Bukidion. Welcome to Ibon Blog Media TV. All right, so there's something we saw online, a near death saga with Tim Bukidion, and we invited him to the studio to tell us a brief story about what he experienced, that he came out alive. So, Etin Bukidion, please, do you mind sharing us a little story about what happened?
So I'll call it a near death experience, but on a very lighter note, I don't like to uh, stress the death part
Okay.
because, yeah, actually, God gave me the victory and I came out alive. So it didn't happen as planned. So at some time, 2 months ago, I was actually referred by a friend, to go and, according to her, she had given my contacts to someone, and the person wanted to call me to find out if I could actually
Do the job.
yeah
Okay.
render the services he needed, and I permitted her to give the person my number. So 2 weeks later, or about a week later, the guy called me, or he started messaging me on WhatsApp actually with different more like a strange foreign number. So we started chatting, asked several questions on what I do, the services I offer. I told him, and was like, he needed my services. Wanted to, build a house for the brother, or for himself rather. So it's like, okay, fine, it's something I could do. So I'm here. So we started talking. He sent briefs of the project. I looked at it and it's like, okay, fine, it's something I can work on. So I haven't had to give him options. You pick the one that is comfortable with, and we're cool. So talk at some length, do the site inspection, and you know, see how the site is. If it's something that a place that could actually fit into the project, or if it's a place that can actually carry the magnitude of project we
He
wanted to.
wanted.
Yeah, I wanted to
Okay.
do. So
Yeah.
I planned my trip. I never knew, from the primary level when we started having the discussion. I never knew that it was going to be outside the state.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking it was going to be within Yo. Yeah, so I didn't know it was going to be outside the state. So I told him, okay, fine, the ways that I work, like I have my, you know, um anytime I have a project or a client to work with like this, I usually have my, business procedures, So there are certain money you need to pay, which are non-refundable for us to even embark on the journey. And you need to fund my transportation and accommodation as well, because it's outside the state, it's not in my state of residence. So I don't need to start funding the whole thing myself, because one, you're not even sure of the project, so I don't need to put my money in. So he agreed. According to him, I was going to make the payment immediately I get. At some point, I had doubts, so I had to reach out to the person that referred me. I gave my number, my friend, and she said he knows the guy too well. Like, she has known him for long, so I do not need to panic. I think I saw some place around 10 p.m. in the night. So early in the morning, I felt some kind of way. I was like, okay, I do not need to go there alone. Like, I don't need to necessarily go and see him alone. So because of the way I was feeling, I was having some kind of,
Weird.
yeah, weird
Okay.
feeling. So I had to reach out to a few friends who I knew were staying around, like
Okay.
guys.
Mm.
And the other one told me was going to be in the market, was going to sell, so he won't really have the time to join
Go
me.
with you.
Yeah. And the other one was like, okay, I may not need to meet you now, but when you're done with the whole business
Yeah.
transaction and everything with that, but at some point, and I feel like I don't need to go alone. I really need to go with someone, because one, that was my first time there. I've never been to that place before, so it was actually my first time. And two, I've never seen this person before, so I don't need to bank 100% trust on this deal.
Plus the feeling you're
Yeah,
already having.
yeah. At some point, I didn't dwell in the fear that, oh,
Something will
something
go
was going to
wrong.
happen. So yeah, so I was like, okay, cool, whatever it is. I mean, now on demand it die now. So yeah, so whatever it is, I'm up for it. Um, so I already called him, told him I was going to meet him by.
Okay.
So after calling him, and I remember that I have a friend, sorry,
Okay.
that stays in Delta State, which is 30 minutes drive
A number.
to Anambra. Yeah. So I reach out to her, and she's into building as well. So it's more like an opportunity for me to work with her. And moreover, if the project was going to materialize, I was thinking of, or sometimes I'll be back to you, and I would have to go to, supervise or do something. So it was more like a perfect thing to, timing to reach out to her. So I did. And she told me she was free, so she was going to join me
Okay.
in 30 minutes, because it was 30 minutes drive from Asaba
A
to
number
Anambra.
state.
Yeah. So, and she joined me around here, so you understand
How things are
they
done.
put on your camera, don't allow your camera to go off. So just be on alert. If anything happens, if I'm trying to escape, escape with me. If I'm waiting, wait with me, whatever happens, just be on alert. And the entire time that we spent together, like when the whole incident happened, she was on alert. I called the guy. It's like, okay, I'm ready to see you.
Okay.
And he gave me a location. I was to meet him. So I went over to the location and waited. So he came up with some kind of tricks that to send your brother you with your brother coming to pick me up. As long as you don't have to keep me too long. I said, no, it's not gonna take too long. It's gonna be fine. You know, it's people, it's
Yes.
guys that
Gang.
had already planned out the whole thing. So send the guy. The guy came and they picked it up, picked us. No, they picked us, and they came in a tinted car. So because of that, that was more like a red flag for me. So I had to take some security information of the vehicle, and also put my colleague on alert to, put our cameras on. When we get for a he started making some calls that I suspected were kind of uh
Funny.
no, not like funny. That's what it was. And when that happened, I felt some kind of way. So, but then I was cool. I had to make it just calm down first, make it like say come over fear. So we did, started driving. So it goes to a certain street, and it's all it had more of pain. There's a build-up community. It's more like an old community where other locals are staying and they've been there for a while. So it's not like a new settlement. So like, okay, nothing can actually happen here because there are other people staying. And across the road had a Catholic church, and they were having their. So I didn't really feel or suspect.
There's something going on.
There's something crazy was gonna happen. So we can talk business before we begin the actual business. So I put on the call a few minutes, a few seconds after dropping the call. The guy now, or a few seconds after dropping the call, I spotted a certain young man coming out from the bush. He had a gun and masked. So that's when I now screamed at my colleague to start running, and she ran, and I did as well. But unlucky for her, she was caught because the actual direction she was running to, that's the
Then,
yeah, no, more like there's a premises, like there's a compound just by the scene where the incident happened. So she was having in mind that she could run into the compound and
I'll be
probably
safe.
lock the gates. Yeah. So by the time she got to the gate, people had already ran into the compound. They had locked the gate, so she couldn't access the compound, the road. I didn't even know they had planted some other person on the road I was running out from, and
Wow.
the guy came out to attack. So by God's grace, I was able to overpower him, and I escaped. So that day was a very long day for me, you know, and I wouldn't want to really go deeply, like in detail. The first day when the incident happened, and the second day, like because it actually happened on a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, it happened on a Saturday, and on a Sunday, I think I was still at, the police were of help as well. Anyways, they were of help, and I was able to secure the release of my friend and on Sunday before we came back. So never can tell what would have happened. So it's more like when I came back, because when I came back, I didn't actually want to put out the whole thing, but
Yeah.
I felt there are a lot of people that need to, a
Yeah.
lot of people that need to hear, because um from my little, they'll try to talk you into doing business with you, take you to a certain place that you don't even know, or give you an invite to a place that you don't know, with a plan of kidnapping you, killing you, it's
Okay.
crazy. So it's been happening,
Oh wow.
and we just need to be careful. That's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Etimbook. Um, viewers, we have heard from